I cut my parents off my Netflix. So my parents have been on my Netflix account for like 3 years now. I didn't really care at first because I figured, whatever, it's just Netflix and they're my parents. But here's the thing, they've never once said thank you. Not once. Every time I see them, it's just complaints about how I need to visit more or how I should be helping them out with money since I have a real job now. I'm 24 and I work at a call center. I'm not rich. I split a 1-bedroom apartment with my boyfriend and we eat pasta like 4 times a week. But because I'm not struggling the same way I did in college, my parents act like I'm swimming in cash. My mom kept dropping hints about how their internet bill was getting expensive and how streaming services cost so much these days. I'd just nod and change the subject because I knew where it was going. Then my dad started in about how family is supposed to help each other out and how when I was a kid they paid for everything and never asked for anything back, which is wild because they definitely held everything over my head growing up. Every time I wanted to go anywhere, it was, we paid for that school trip or we bought you that phone, but whatever. 2 weeks ago, I was home visiting for my mom's birthday. I walked into the living room and my dad was watching some action movie on the big TV. I noticed the Netflix profile said Dave, which is my dad's name, but under it there were like 6 other profiles I'd never seen. Who's Julie? I asked. My dad barely looked up. Oh, that's Julie from next door. She watches that baking show. I felt my stomach drop. Wait, who else is on here? My dad rattled off 4 more names like it was no big deal. Neighbors, his coworker, some guy from church. I just stood there. Dad, you gave out my Netflix password to random people? He shrugged. They're not random. We know them. Don't be dramatic. I looked at my mom and she wouldn't even make eye contact. She just said, it's not a big deal. Everyone shares passwords. I went home that night and checked my account. 9 profiles. 9. There were people watching stuff at like 2 in the morning on school nights. My continue watching list was full of shows I'd never touched. I was paying $15 a month so my parents could run a free streaming service for the neighborhood. I changed the password that night, logged everyone out, deleted every profile except mine and my boyfriend's. Done. The next day my mom called me 6 times. I ignored all of them because I was at work and also because I knew she'd just yell. She left a voicemail that was 2 minutes of her saying I was being selfish and immature and that I embarrassed her in front of her friends. My dad texted me, call your mother. I didn't. 3 days later, my dad showed up at my apartment. He didn't even knock. He just started banging on the door like he was the police. My boyfriend answered and my dad pushed past him into our tiny kitchen. We need to talk, he said. He looked mad in a way I hadn't seen since I was in high school and crashed his car into a mailbox. I told him he needed to leave. He said no. He said I had no right to cut them off without warning and that I owed them an explanation. I told him I didn't owe him anything and that he should have asked before giving my password to half the neighborhood. That's when he said it. You're being ridiculous. We were only charging them $10 a month. It's not like we were making real money off it. I just stared at him. You were charging them? He backtracked immediately. Said it wasn't like that. Said it was just to cover costs. I asked him what costs since I was the one paying for the account. He said they needed help with bills, and this was an easy way to make a little extra, and I was being ungrateful because they raised me and fed me and kept a roof over my head for 18 years. I told him to get out. He said I was selfish. I said he was a thief. He slammed the door so hard on his way out that a picture frame fell off the wall and shattered.